I'm back with part 2 in my video ranking my entire Fragrance World collection. I have, I believe, 31 of them. In the first video, I went through the bottom 15. In this video, we're going through the top 16. And I will go ahead and tell you, I literally love every fragrance in this video. Every single one of them, I would say, is awesome. I don't have complaints about them, but I tried to rank them with my favorite ones at the top, and this is a fire list. Every one of these, I'll go ahead and tell you, I highly recommend them to you. So let's go ahead and jump in. I will mention that Fragrance World has some sub-brands like F.A. Paris being their higher end, and Athor Al Alam, which is considered, I think, to be their lower end. So some of those are mixed in here as well, but this list is awesome. As we get ready to go, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Please give the video a like if you like it, and let me know your top 3 Fragrance World picks down in the comments section. Let's begin with my top 16. I think I will start with this one. This one is really good. I have the original. I've done side by side. And whenever I spray them on side by side, there's not that much of a difference. I'm talking about this one right here, Reinheit Parfum. This one is, of course, a dupe of Fahrenheit Parfum. And it is so very similar. You've got the original kind of Fahrenheit DNA with some, I believe it's rum and vanilla added in there. And this one smells almost just like the original. It's not as rich. It's not quite as long lasting, although it does have pretty good performance. This stuff is really good. Reinheit Parfum. All right, next up. Another one I do have the original for, and I've done side by side. This one is not as close to the original as a lot of the others that I'm mentioning in these 2 Fragrance World videos that I'm doing, but this one's still very good and I still really like it. I'm talking about Eau de Spice Extreme Marc and Victor. This, of course, is a Spice Bomb Extreme clone. This one I would say is more synthetic than the Victor and Rolf, and there's a little bit more of the sort of vanilla citrus sweetness off the top with this one. Not quite as textured and spicy immediately as the Victor and Rolf, but it's still really good. I would say 85% similar, and I like this stuff, and I actually wear it quite a bit. All right, next, this one. This was my first Fragrance World pickup, and I still love it. I still wear it. Really good stuff. This one's an alternative to Mugler's Pure Malt, which is a discontinued fragrance. This is Starman Nebula. And as is true with many of the Fragrance World dupes now on Amazon, you can get them for super cheap, and I will often see this one in the low 20s. It is a gorgeous fragrance with a good bit of fruitiness off the top. Then you've got some aromatics matching the original Amen fragrance. And then you've got some good spiciness in this one and just a touch of booziness. I don't have the original. I never smelled the original, so I don't know how it compares. But I can tell you this one is an awesome, awesome fall fragrance. Of course, winter as well. Starman Nebula, sweet and spicy goodness with some fruitiness. Love that stuff. Another one that I love, and I haven't been mentioning this as we go, but most of these have really good performance, and I'll try to remember to mention that quickly as we go. This one has fantastic performance, and it's a compliment magnet. This is Al Rai by the lower end sub-brand of Fragrance World, and this one is a dupe of 1 Million Elixir. And so to me, this one, the way that vanilla and rose are used together gives it a true bubblegum sweetness. It almost smells like a vanilla bubblegum or something like that. There's a little bit of fruits in there as well, some woodiness, but to me, this is bubblegum glory. I need to wear this tonight. Haven't probably worn it in about a month. But the rose is discernible, but it's not a feminine fragrance. This stuff is awesome. Al Rai. If you like 1 Million Elixir, check that one out. All right, we're getting into the really good stuff. I mean, the really, really good stuff. Again, I have the original of this one. I've done side by side. It's awesome. I'm talking about Harmony Code Absolute. And of course, this is a Code Absolu, Armani Code Absolu dupe, and it's so very similar to the original. You've got the off of the top, you've got the same almost like a fizzy, you know, almost like a cola kind of opening. You've got vanilla, you've got leather, you've got tonka bean. It's just a gorgeous fragrance. Absolutely love this stuff. Harmony Code Absolute. All right. Next, we will go with, man, it's hard to choose, but I think I'll go with this one. This one was one of my favorite pickups of last year, period. Clone or designer or niche. This one's an alternative to one of my favorite Parfums de Marly fragrances, which is Leighton Exclusive, and they killed it. This is Aniquid, and it is that gorgeous sort of spicy aromatic vanilla that you get with Leighton, but then you've also got an oud and maybe castoreum. There's some sort of an animalic note, and there's even coffee in there, but it gives you this dark, rich, piney oudiness on top of all that spicy vanilla goodness. This stuff is liquid gold, again, Aniquid. All right, next up. This one is a new pickup for me, and this one is an alternative to a fragrance I don't own and that I never smelled, Boss Bottled Intense. This is Nazi or Nazi Silver. And this stuff is absolutely gorgeous. If you like something like Parfums de Marly Leighton, this one is sort of a lavender forward take on that style of DNA. Sweet, spicy, woody fragrance. But there's a lavender that adds an interesting cleanness, especially for the first hour or so. And then after about an hour, the spice really starts to come through. This stuff is awesome. Nazi Silver. All right, this one is an excellent alternative to one of my favorite Givenchy fragrances, Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. This is Al Fakir. And this stuff, they did an excellent job. I mean, to me, Reserve Privé is just sort of like a boozy, maybe a little bit more sweet or chocolatey take on the original Gentleman. And this one is so very similar to Reserve Privé. I would say the iris is not quite as forward or noticeable as it is in the Givenchy. So again, Al Fakir. All right, next up, let's go with this one. This one is absolutely gorgeous, really good stuff. This is an alternative to, of course, YSL Tuxedo. I've got a bunch of fragrances that smell something like Tuxedo, and this is one of the best. This is Suits by Fragrance World, and they just nail the patchouli, vanilla, peppery, woody goodness. I always feel like Tuxedo has leather in it, although I don't think it actually does. But if you want a sort of spicy, dark patchouli vanilla fragrance, this stuff, you can't beat it. Formal or jeans and a t-shirt, it works well in either situation. Suits. Okay, next, it's getting very difficult to choose now because I absolutely love every one of these fragrances. I think I'm going to go with this one next. This one is an alternative to, in my opinion, of the ones I've smelled, the best flanker of Dolce & Gabbana, the one, which is Luminous Night, and this is Fragrance World's Moonlit Night, the one and only. And this is a beautiful kind of woody, spicy, aromatic fragrance. You've got this unique sweet note of dates. You've also got some incense in there. You've got some pepper in there. It's gorgeous. It is just this sort of mysterious, alluring fragrance. They did an excellent job with it. Moonlit Night. All right. It's getting hard to choose here, but I think I'm going to go here next. Let's see. Let's go with this one. This one of my favorite pickups of the past 6 months or so. This is King of Diamonds, and it's an alternative for Virtus Narcosis, which is a mango fragrance with a good bit of some darkness from some coffee. There's also some spiciness. There's a good bit of greenness. Some people kind of take the green woody vibe from this and say it smells like cannabis. To me, it smells more like oud, almost like the oud you would get in, like Parfums de Marly Latent Exclusif. But regardless, this sort of green, woody, mango fragrance with some dark coffee. It's so unique, so very good, and I think an all year round fragrance. King of Diamonds, absolutely love this stuff. All right, next we'll go with this one right here. Again, all of these are going to be some of my favorite pickups of the past year or so since I got them. This one blew me away. This one's an alternative to Initio's Side Effect. This is Intro Aftermath. And this stuff is just an absolutely gorgeous sort of dark, woody saffron fragrance in the base. But on top of that, you've got this rum and vanilla and cinnamon and a whole sort of array of spices. So this is a dark, woody, spicy fragrance with some vanilla and some booziness. It is mesmerizing. It's gorgeous. I never even tried Side Effect, so I don't know how accurate it is to the original. But if you want something that smells awesome for the fall and the winter, this one right here is going to do it for you. Intro Aftermath. All right, we are getting to the absolute cream of the crop. These are my top 4. And the order is very difficult for me to choose, but I think I'm going to start here. This is from F.A. Paris, the high end of fragrance world. This one's an alternative to Kilian's Black Phantom. This is, of course, Spectre Wraith. And this is a dark, boozy, coffee, chocolate fragrance. It's this, I say this is what Batman would wear on date night. If you want something that, to me, as a clone fragrance, the way that they capture, I think it's rum, the boozy note, is absolutely gorgeous. And there's this sort of woodiness mixing with that booziness, and then this wonderful chocolatiness and coffee. It's so good. It's one of the darkest fragrances you'll ever smell, Black Phantom or this one. It is so good. Spectre Wraith, gorgeous stuff right there. I think I'm going to do this for the top 3. I'm going to say number 3 is, this could be number 1 on any given day. This is Legion, an alternative to Parfums de Marly Wajan, which is a gorgeous, spicy fragrance with fruitiness in the opening and then this powerful, powerful dose of cinnamon. The cinnamon in this fragrance, to me, absolutely makes it stand above almost every other fragrance I have. I love cinnamon, one of my favorite notes, and this is the most cinnamon-forward fragrance that I own. Wajan is often called like an apple pie fragrance. You definitely get something like that from this sweet, powerfully spicy fragrance, and it is quite close to Wajan Fragrance World's Legion. This next one, I absolutely love this fragrance, and when this came out, you couldn't get the original. It would rarely pop up. Now it's a little more readily available. This is an alternative to Guerlain's Ideal Extreme, the L'Homme Ideal Extreme. This is Supreme L'Homme Extreme, and this is such an absolutely gorgeous fragrance with there's a plum note. There is this incredible woodiness from cedar. There's vanilla. There's, of course, the almond note that is signature to the Ideal line. But you've seen the fragrances that I've lined up under this one. And if you have any of them, you know how good they are. I'm putting this number 2 in my collection of 31 or 32 Fragrance World fragrances. That's how good it is. It's unique, it's gorgeous, it's sexy. I absolutely love it. Supreme L'Homme Extreme. And my number 1, this will be no surprise to those of you who have followed the channel recently. It's a fairly new pickup, just a couple months since I picked up Liquid Brune, of course. This one is an alternative to Parfums de Marly Altair. And man, they nailed it. I love it. The type of fragrance that it is, I absolutely love. It is vanilla and praline. That's all you need to know. I mean, praline, that sort of caramely, nutty, gourmand kind of feel, mixing with a heavy dose of vanilla. They did a really good job on it, but even if the Parfums de Marly smelled way different and this one smelled the way that it does, it would probably still be at the top of my list. It's that good. Again, this is Liquid Broom. So I want to know, what are your top 3 from Fragrance World down below. Also, please consider giving the video a like if you like it and subscribe. I'm Justin. This is CI Scents.